passing game. Passing game is our other offensive set to complement 4-up. Okay, now this is going to be long and complicated just because there's a lot of explanation, but it still is relatively simple. Any of our offensive sets that don't incorporate our transition, like I said in the other video, is we end up being set up in 4-up. Right, so then in this scenario, if we end up yelling passing game, our wings go down to the block. So we have our bigs up top on the elbow and our smalls on the bottom on the blocks. Primarily, we end up doing this so that if we're being guarded man to man, we have movement. And we have brought our men who are guarding us down here, okay? So once our wings have come to the block, our bigs slide down and pin down screens so that our wings can pop off of them, and we have returned back to 4-up for the wings, but our bigs that were on the elbow are down on the blocks. Hopefully everybody has followed that at this point. It is important in this scenario, what ends up happening all of the time is I yell passing game and everybody ends up running down there at once because we're so eager to getting into our positions. And so this ends up being wrong, and we have a hard time opening up space to pass to. That's why it's a timing thing, and we're patient. And when we know what we're doing, we can be patient. So let's say that our wings have popped down and our bigs have set a great screen for them. This is what the formation looks like. This is where the point guard plays an important role here because they have the vision of, since it's motion and they're in man, people aren't wide open. And so our big has flashed down here to screen and our wing is popping out. We want to end up hitting them with a pass when they are open, not when they get out here, but because they're coming off a screen, we can end up passing and seeing that they're open. Once the ball side, once the wing, a wing has the ball, in this scenario it's this wing over here on my right. If you're watching, I believe it's your left. This big, who's on ball side block, becomes the captain of the play, okay? He decides what to do next. And this is where, in practice, both Lucas and Banyan haven't quite learned this play or are so used to being bigs that they just post up here. If there's such a size advantage of you posting up, we will end up doing that in 4-up, or I will end up yelling it during the game to get into passing game and attack the block with a big, okay? But for now, this is what I want you to do so that you're understanding the basics of motion offense. You have two decisions to make. You can go screen across is your first option. If you screen across for your other big, they can end up popping over here and they end up getting a pass and they are wide open. You are in rebounding position. They can shoot if they're wide open. They can shot fake and drive, which would draw people back to them and bounce pass to you, or they can finish at the goal. Okay? So that's the first option that you have when you are the ball side big, is to go screen across. Okay? The second option that you have in the way that we are going to run this, and I want you to remember from the last time we practiced what I taught you guys. Ball goes to wing, you have a decision to make. And what we want is for, if you're not screening across, you are to come screen out for this wing to dribble off of you down this way. Okay. The way we were doing stuff in practice the other day was we were setting screens so that our guard would dribble this way into traffic. And we want to end up creating space so that you end up setting a screen. Let's do this way so that you can see it. You're here. They dribble off of your screen this way so that you roll that way. Then there's only one defender here and they have to choose. If they choose here, it's a bounce pass to you. If they choose you, this guy can continue for a layup. This guy can come here and pull up for a shot. And we've got this guy in rebound. We've got defensive release and defensive release. Okay. I know that that's convoluted, but that's the way we want to end up running this. Now, I did just kind of draw something up a little, not what I was supposed to do. When the point guard makes the pass, the point guard goes and screens opposite for this guy coming back. Okay? The reason we do this is so that we have movement. But that does not change your responsibility if you are ball side. You have two choices and two choices only. Come out and screen or screen across. Okay? Those are your choices. Now, the reason that we do this action is so that now this guy ends up having two choices as well. Even though you're the captain of the play, let's say you've screened across, but then they switched and this pass isn't open. Well, now we have screened across here. This person may be open for a three. If not, we've got a guard up top. This is the way that would look, right? Is that we would have a different guard up top. And then basically the two bigs switched. And now the guard would be back up top. This was originally your point guard. This guy was originally here and this guy was originally there, but we're back in this formation. We don't have to reset up into a 4 up. This person can come right back here, or this person can go over there with a pass. And so if they go over here, now this guy has two jobs and two jobs only. Either come up here and set a screen and then roll, or screen across. And then this person slides down. And that's passing game. I hope this answers those questions instead of the typing that I've done in the emails. But ultimately, if we get a team in man, this is going to work a lot. If we run this correctly, if we go inside of it, it's going to be a log jam. And what's going to happen is this big is going to float out here and they're going to be open here. And this wing is going to pass out here. And this big is going to want to take this shot that they're not skilled enough to take, but it's still an open shot. And then I will have to be an encouraging coach and say, that's not the shot we're looking for, but I'm glad you took an open shot. Okay? So if we can, we want to set the screen here, roll off of it, and this is open. Remember, this is the area that we want the bigs to receive passes so that they can go 1-2. Because if we get it here, they go 1-2 and they lay it up back here. And everybody's like, wow, that was a bad angle. Okay? That's passing game. I understand it. I hope I explained it to where you guys can.